Hello, welcome to the channel. Me and Jasper. What's happening, bro? He doesn't care. He doesn't care about this news, but I do, and maybe you guys do as well. For fuck's sake, what am I doing? Look, Ahsoka series. We're getting loads of Star Wars series out the wazoo. I don't know how true this is, but there has been elements of The Mandalorian that I guess looked like this was the trajectory they were going to in some form. I don't think they're out and out going to be erasing Disney's sequel trilogy. That's not going to happen. Like, I highly doubt that. I don't believe any of this in that regard, as in like staunch. They are definitely deleting it. It's not what they're going to have. It's not what they're going to do. I think they're going to subtly retcon some bits and pieces. I think that's all they're going to do. But we'll dive into it and we'll have a look. Now, whenever I do these videos, because it comes from Doomcock, a lot of people always go, "Well, I believe him because of the Rise of Skywalker rumours." All of those things he took from Jedi Paxis on Reddit, because I did those videos as well. Outside of that, as a reliable source, it is quite hit and miss. And I'm not crapping on the dude. It's fine. He has a space on YouTube. Do whatever you want. But outside of that, somewhat is hit and miss. And this, I just don't believe they're going to do it. I think that they will try to retcon elements. That I can 100% believe. But out and out just, deleting it and going, nah, it just never happened. No. Very unlikely. And it'd be very difficult for them to do that as well, because the Ahsoka series, it's the same, apparently the same time as Mando. So it's not even during the time of the sequel trilogy. So it does become like an avenue of like, well, how are they going to do that anyway? But I thought we'd dive into it and just discuss the merits of this all, and just get your opinions on it, ladies and gents. So let's dive into it, right? So this article's linked down below. The Ahsoka show was announced during the Disney Investor Day, which was just ridiculously full on. I mean, look at the amount of crap they've announced. Look at it. Star Wars Visions, Children of Blood and Bone, Droid Show, or A Droid Story, Lando. There's just so much stuff. So much stuff. But Kathleen Kennedy stated that today I'm excited to share with you that John and Dave are concurrently developing 2 new spin-off series exclusively for Disney+. She continued, one, The Rangers of the New Republic, and the other featuring fan favourite Ahsoka Tano, set within the timeline of The Mandalorian. These interconnected shows, along with future stories, will excite new audiences, embrace our most passionate fans, and culminate in a climactic story event. So they're connecting them to... I don't like this. I don't like that they're doing, right? Because it sounds like they're connecting Ahsoka Tano to The Mandalorian, and you must watch both to be able to understand what's happening in the Mandalorian, which I think will actually switch a lot of people off, unless it's good, and then that's fine. But I don't think people like being forced into watching stuff just because to understand the narrative. People don't like that. Lucasfilm president then said, the next chapter will debut on Disney Plus Christmas of 2021, Ahsoka. Top marks for epic title, I guess. Doomcock claims that the title card for Ahsoka, seen above, is the Veil of the Force, or the World Between Worlds that was first announced in Dave Filoni's Star Wars Rebels, Path of the Jedi. Which you can see here. Look, so in that episode, Ezra enters the World Between Worlds, and we get to see what it looks like, which you can see below. So here it is. It just looks like a map to me. That's what it looks like. This just looks like a map, but I could be wrong. And then we see some elements here. Look, so the World Between Worlds would also show up in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the visual dictionary. In the book, it reads, unattributed visualization of the chain worlds theorem, also known as the World Between Worlds, or Vergent Scatter, which we can see here, right? Unattributed visualization, blah, blah, blah. Interestingly, the visual dictionary also reveals something called the Netherworld of Unbeing, that allows transit to any point across the cosmos. It also described the Force as a twisted ribbon lining the perimeter of all reality. Now, there is the potential that that is what that is. Could also just be the galaxy. We're just relying on the fact that it apparently looks like that for the time being. Now, after asserting that the title card depicts the world between worlds, Doomcock would refer back to a previous rumour he reported on, stating, "My agents were reporting that Ahsoka and the Veil of the Force would be instrumental in erasing damage that Kennedy wrought, and now it appears that rumour was well founded." He would go on to point out that none of the newly announced Star Wars shows have anything to do with Disney's sequel trilogy. No, but they are. Mandalorian seemingly did have Snoke in it. Let's be honest. The clones, Baby Yoda, needing it is looking like it's setting up the sequel trilogy. As much as I don't like the sequel trilogy, I'm not going to be blinded to the fact that it does look like they're setting it up, doesn't it? You know? Doomcock states, "Look at the evidence. Not one of these announced Star Wars projects moving forward has anything whatsoever to do with the sequel trilogy, and that is because they are preparing to discard it." I disagree, for the reasons mentioned. Snoke and the Emperor, both of those things are clones at this point. Both of them are cloned force power beings, which we're told you can't do, but the Mandalorian seems to set that up because they're saying, well, we need the child for that. So I do disagree with that, sadly. And I know there'll be staunch Doomcock fans just saying, no, you're talking out your butthole, but just it seems to set that up. He would then add that Disney is out of the sequel trilogy business, that the sequels were a failure is beyond dispute now, since they are not using the Disney sequel trilogy characters moving forward. That's a good observation. I mean, they are just a business at the end of the day. He then claims that the title card for Ahsoka Tano is the Veil of the Force, and now here comes Ahsoka, a new series where the Veil of the Force is so prominent it is featured on her title cards. So, for those of you who don't know the Veil of the Force, it's a mystical dimension of the Force connecting time, space, and alternate realities. A kind of quantum realm of the Force. Which, you know, we can see here, anyway, this is on like the wall thing. And so Doomcock then quotes Kennedy's announcement and specifically points to the climactic story event. Right? Which is that the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Rangers of the New Republic will culminate in. Which, I mean, to me, just sounds like they're building towards the sequel trilogy. And like the rise of the Emperor. Like, if you look at everything that they've been seeding here, it's Grogu, Baby Yoda, the fact that they need him to make clones. We've already seen the clones. Emperor's a clone, Snoke's a clone, everyone's a clone. It looks like they're actually just building to that. I could be wrong, but is what it looks like. So anyway, it says, yeah, it appears that the pieces of the galaxy put in place to erase the Disney sequel trilogy and restore order to Lucas's galaxy. I don't know. I mean, look, it'd be interesting to see if that does happen. But I just don't see it. You know, that's the thing. I just don't see it because at the end of the day, we have so many elements from the new one in here. Now, there is the fact that, again, it just looks like a galaxy to me, but I could be wrong. You know, and like Lando, like if Lando comes out and it's, you know, I'm pretty certain Donald Glover was in it as well. We got the Andor. Like, I don't know. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I don't like the sequels, but I just don't see it. Now, the only thing which points to this maybe being true is the fact that in, I think it was the first or the second episode of The Mandalorian, they included some elements which, you know, do disregard elements of the sequel trilogy. Quite small, but still, it's that subtle retconning that I was talking about. And that's all I think you're going to see. I don't think you're going to see major ones. I think you're going to see just little subtle retcons here and there. Oh, we didn't like that, we'll change that out. Which Dave Filoni's all about. He's already said we're going to be changing stuff. He's literally already come out and said that. Disregard for canon, which is a bit silly, but whatever. So I hand it on over to you guys. What do you think? Now, again, I know there'll be staunch people that will just believe this. I get that. That's fine. But I just think that there's too many elements that, you know, have been established that look like it's pointing in completely the other way. I'll be happy if they do, mind you. So I'm not just saying, you know, I'm not being flippant for the sake of it. I just don't see it because of elements that have already been teased. And this culmination event looks like they're just culminating into the rise of the Emperor again. And the New Order. Or bloody First Order. Whatever they're bloody called. I don't bloody know. So I'll hand on over to you. What do you think? Let me know down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Guys, if you want to support the channel, I've got Patreon, link down below. I've also got merch underneath every single video. Check it out. It's a good way to support the channel. and get some exclusive stuff. But anyway, thanks so much. Take care.